Guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for tuning in, much appreciated. And just heading over to get Elijah at daycare right now. I've been working on Fish the Moment lake map breakdowns all day long. You guys can check those out on fishthemoment.com if you want to. Got a lot of good tall breakdowns coming in. So anyway, today just gonna do a quick video on the way to get Elijah over there. I just want to talk about the channels that you don't want to waste your time on as far as the bass fishing channels on YouTube, and sort of give you my opinion on that, what I think about it. So first of all, I want to say that I don't think, in terms of like calling a bass fishing YouTube channel bad or good, I don't think that you can really do that, because you know, bass fishing YouTube channels and YouTube in general, it's basically just opinions, you know, for the most part, opinions and, you know, entertainment, information, that type of stuff. So when you try to justify that as calling something bad, you're basically just, you know, you got a judgment that you're passing on it that's not really fair. So what I want to talk about this, as far as the channels that you don't want to waste your time on, is those channels depend upon what you want to get out of your YouTube channel, what you're looking for. Because there's a mix of YouTube channels out there, guys. You've got your hardcore fishing tip information. You got channels like Matt Steffen that are hardcore fishing tips for serious anglers. Then you've got some YouTube channels from the Guggen Squad guys that are nothing but just fluff and entertainment, and there's very little educational value. And then you have everything in between on that. So I think the first consideration is what do you want to get out of your YouTube channel? If you're looking for, you know, just solid, hardcore hogging fishing information, you know, just stay away from those channels that are obvious fluff promotion type channels. A lot of them are super heavily edited. They've got lots of, you know, clickbait on it, and there's nothing, you know, you're going to have clickbait. I mean, I even have clickbait on my channel, because you got to have somebody watching your videos to make it worth putting out videos. But there comes to a point where you can after you've watched a lot of YouTube videos, you can pretty much distinguish what is just pure nothing but clickbait and what's not. Because what happens is, once you click on a channel that has a clickbait title, and if that channel does not back up that title by solid content, that tends to make you not want to check that channel out again. So it's all right if you have a catchy channel if you can back it up. But you know, if you're looking for, you know, just solid, you know, fishing information, you know, you're gonna have to sift through that a little bit. And there's a lot of channels out there that aren't that. If you're looking to be entertained and you get bored by hardcore fishing information, there's probably a lot of channels out there that you don't want to watch either. So I find, in my analyzation and observation of people out there a little bit, that most people would rather be entertained than educated. And that's why the biggest YouTube channels out there are the ones that have the least amount of true educational value to them. They're the ones that are more entertaining. You know, they're the ones that have, you know, lots of slick production, lots of high cost production, camera people that work for them. You know, a lot of their content is more reality TV based, and they don't give up a lot of information. And I think a lot of it is there's a lot of bass fishing YouTubers out there that use the genre of bass fishing to get a foothold, and simply because, you know, it fits into what, you know, their market is, even though they can't back up their content, you know, to justify those subscribers. So, and that's the reality of it. It's just like, you know, keeping up with the Kardashians. I mean, it was getting, you know, 20 million viewers a week at some point, which is nothing but a mindless, absolutely, you know, zero redeeming qualities whatsoever, other than just watching a bunch of girls lay around on a couch and on the bed. And then you can have, you know, one of the most highly educational, thought-provoking programs, like, you know, some type of study of our known universe, or some type of nature program, and nobody watches it. So I think that's human nature a lot of times, that, you know, like I said, people just, they don't want to be educated, they want to be entertained. So as far as the channels that you need to stay away from, you know, let what you expect and what interests you, pick that out. I can't really sit here, and it's not really right for me to name off channels that I think that are no good, that suck. I could name some off right now, but I think I just be setting myself up for a tremendous amount of criticism if I did that. So I'll keep that reserved for just some of my closest friends, in private conversations. And there are a lot of them out there that I just shake my head at. It's like, God, this is ridiculous. How does this dude have so many subscribers? And there's some out there also that I look at, it's like, man, this guy should have tons of subscribers, but he doesn't. So that's the reality of the world we live in. That's just the way that YouTube is. But man, I got to tell you guys a little bit about YouTube. It's like, you guys that have YouTube right now, the generation that grew up with YouTube, you guys have no idea how fortunate you are to have this tool to learn from. Because back when I was getting started, when I was in my late teens and early 20s, the only way that you learned about catching bass was going fishing on your own and fishing with people that were good fishermen. There was no other information as far as to learn about fishing. Yeah, you had magazines out there like Bassmaster Magazine, but back then the only people that wrote articles on bass fishing were outdoor writers, and a lot of these outdoor writers, guys, back then, they thought that they were better than pro fishermen, and they weren't. So they put out information that they wanted to share with the public from their own experience. It was amateurish at the best, during the 70s and 80s. So you couldn't really learn from print publication, and you also couldn't learn from TV shows, because most of the guys that had TV shows back when I was growing up, they were either fishing somewhere for lake trout up in Canada, or they were fishing a private stock strip pit or farm pond in Florida. They were never on the real world of public waters. But you guys have the opportunity to get on these YouTube channels and get all this information that's being thrown your way. You get to see it firsthand on some of the video. Like on my channel, I'm sharing with you guys what I've learned from over 40 years fishing. And we do that because, it's a way to generate income as a YouTube creator. So there's a give and take there. If we weren't compensated for the time that we are putting into it and the information that's taken us decades to learn, it wouldn't be worth our time to do it, and we wouldn't do it. So from that format, YouTube is a great deal as far as for the creators and the people that watch the content both. So anyway, that's just today's video. Just about over here to the daycare. Elijah and I are going to go get our hair trimmed a little bit, so I'm going to get over there and do that, and we'll check in later with you guys. Hope everybody's doing good. See you.